Hey everyone! Before we dive into the story of this coin, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next hidden gem, especially if you're into coins, history, or just good old treasure hunting. Today, I want to take you on a journey through one of the most interesting and sometimes misunderstood coins in modern South African numismatics, the 1995 South Africa 5 Rand coin. This coin might not be solid gold or silver, but it packs a lot of story, design, and nuance. And that's exactly why collectors, especially seasoned ones aged 55 to 65 plus, will appreciate its value. Picture this. The year is 1995, just a year after South Africa took a major step forward into democracy. The country is evolving, reinventing itself, and with that comes new coinage, coins that carry not just monetary value, but a symbol of a new era. The 5 Rand piece from that time isn't just change for your pocket. It's a snapshot of history. First, let's talk about the design. On the obverse, that's the head side, you see the South African coat of arms, and the inscription is bilingual: English, South Africa, and Afrikaans, SUID Africa. A subtle but powerful nod to the country's dual-language heritage. Just below, the phrase "Ex unitate vires" is stamped, meaning out of unity, strength, which feels especially meaningful in the context of South Africa's transformation. On the reverse side, there's a wildebeest, new, a graceful and rugged animal that is part of South Africa's rich wildlife identity. The denomination 5 Rand, or 5 ALS, sits above it. Now, what's it made of? This isn't a precious metal coin. The 1995 5 Rand is composed of nickel-plated copper, giving it a solid but not heavyweight feel. It weighs about 7 grams, measures 26 millimeters across, and has a segmented reeded edge, alternating smooth and toothed sections. In terms of how many were made, this coin was very common, a mintage of 41,238,000 pieces. In other words, this isn't some super rare variant, but a piece that was very much part of everyday life in South Africa in the mid-1990s. So what about value? Here's where things get interesting. Despite being a large denomination coin, numismatically, it's not especially rare or valuable in high-end terms. According to Foronum, depending on its condition, the value sits between about 91 cents and $7.02 for 5 Rand coins of that era. Specific listings on VCoins have shown this 1995 version sold for around $5 to $5.80. And in more circulated, everyday condition, VG or good, its market price may even be just close to its face value or slightly above because of its wide availability. One more source, Numis, gives catalog prices for a 1995 5 Rand as VF, very fine, is almost equal to $4.50, XF, extremely fine, is almost equal to $5.50, and a proof version around $10. Here's a key thing to appreciate, especially for my audience of seasoned collectors or history enthusiasts. The value of this coin is not in some rare metal or extremely limited mint run, but in its symbolism. You're holding a coin that circulated during the very early years of post-apartheid South Africa, a time of hope, unity, and transformation. That historical significance is worth something beyond the metal. Some people on collector forums remark that even though the metal isn't precious, these coins are a lovely piece of nostalgic value or a reminder of a time of change. That 5 Rand coin is still being actively used. It's still R5. Others reflect on how common these coins were. So finding one doesn't guarantee a big numismatic payday, but it's still a meaningful find. Now, you might wonder, why did someone say $450 for this coin? Realistically, for a standard circulation 1995 5 Rand, that kind of number is wildly inflated, unless it's some extremely rare proof, error coin, or something misrepresented. Based on available data from multiple numismatic sources, Foronum, VCoins, Numis, the real market value is far, far lower than $450 for a regular example. If someone is claiming it's worth $450, that usually falls into one of a few scenarios. Maybe they're confusing it with another 5 Rand coin, like a commemorative or special edition. If it's an unusual minting mistake, it could be more valuable, but that isn't common for this type. A pristine, certified proof could fetch more, but even Then, $450 for a nickel-plated copper piece from 1995 seems very optimistic based on typical sales.so. If you're making a video for a more mature male audience, aged 55, 65 plus, who appreciate value, history, and authenticity, here's why this coin is really worth talking about. It's not just coin chaff. It's a symbol of a pivotal time in South Africa's journey. Its design is bold and meaningful. National arms, a wildebeest, a motto of unity that's accessible, not ultra-rare, meaning you could pick one up cheaply enough to actually hold a piece of history. And it's a great cautionary tale. Not everything that people hype up, like a $450 value, is realistic. Knowing real market info saves you from overpaying or being misled. In conclusion, the 1995 South African 5 Rand is a coin to respect, not because it's a gold mine, but because it's a time capsule, a piece minted in the early days of a new South Africa. It's a collector's piece that makes sense in a modest collection, especially for someone interested in political history, currency of change, or legacy coins. Its real market value lies in the $1 to $7 range, depending on its condition, not in extravagant figures. When you show this coin on your channel, emphasize its story first, its design second, and then walk your audience through why its legendary price claims might not hold up. That kind of honest, grounded content is exactly what builds trust with your seasoned viewers.